Tonight on NewsWatch 12 at 6, a Grants Pass family was left displaced after their home filled with hundreds of gallons of water. And they're just one of the many families feeling the effects from yesterday's storm.
And we're tracking other severe weather impacts across our region and how organizations are responding.
And the latest on the flood warning that remains for the Rogue River, as well as details on more wet weather in the forecast as the week progresses. The details all coming up.
Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 at 6.
Widespread flooding spanning western Oregon has left local community members knee-deep in disaster. The Oregon Department of Emergency Management's now activating a regional response to the active flooding and increased risk of landslides and rock falls. Torrential rain in our region left one Grants Pass family displaced. Thank you for joining us for NewsWatch 12 at 6. I'm Samantha Cadera.
And I'm Tim Quidadamo. NewsWatch 12's Rocky Walker went to that family's property. They say it was in the middle of a river of floodwater.
The weekend storms brought massive flooding to our region, and for some families like the Polders, they have a creek in their backyard. It overflowed, flowing onto their property into their home. This was the scene just yesterday, with hundreds of gallons of water surrounding the Polder home.
I've never really thought it'd get like that.
And then it just came out of nowhere.
Oh, it was down my driveway, in my garage, around the house, down the side of the house. Yeah, the river was flowing everywhere.
The Polder children calling family for help.
When I got off work, I came over to help. And by the time I got here, their entire place was underwater on the outside. They were scrambling to try to keep the water from coming in the house.
With feet of water against the home, they did what they could to keep it out. But then the water started seeping in through the walls.
I was scared because the carpet had water under it and it was moving like it was waves, and the water just kept on rushing back in, and it was almost in our whole entire house.
The flooding taking place at a time where the family is already stretched thin.
They have a new baby. Andrew just had emergency surgery 2 weeks ago. He worked so hard to save his house, and he couldn't.
Now all they can do is hope to recover.
They're just, I think, running off adrenaline right now. We've been up all night. It's just, we're gonna keep moving forward. That's what we have to do.
Reporting in Grants Pass, I'm Rocky Walker.
Turning now to Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman. Matt, we're starting to see some sun finally in southern Oregon. It's been a couple of days, but we are seeing these rivers still very high.
Yes, still high, still a flood warning for the Rogue River from Agnes down through Gold Beach. Here's a live look. You can see at the bottom of your screen the Rogue River, the view from Grants Pass and the Taprock Northwest Grill. It's still running high, running very fast as well. The river, though, did crest this morning at over 34 feet. Current river stage is just over 28 feet, and the waters will continue to recede over the next about 24 to 36 hours. Flood stage is 17 feet, and we should see that drop below flood stage as we head into Wednesday morning. This flood warning goes until late Wednesday morning, but again, a lot of the rivers and streams out there are still running pretty fast and pretty high. Take a look at precipitation over the last 72 hours. What a soaker in Curry and Josephine County. We had widespread rainfall amounts between 4 to 6 inches, and then into the coastal mountains, we had rainfall totals as high as 6 to 9 inches of rainfall. Still some shower activity out there this evening. We got some spotty showers in the Rogue Valley, some steadier rain with some of these showers, and snow up in our higher terrain. But notice the coverage is starting to wane a bit, and that's going to be the trend into this evening. But I do expect rain and snow showers to ramp back up late tonight towards the coast and then up into the Cascades. There's a winter weather advisory down in Siskiyou County above 4,000 feet. It goes until 8 o'clock tonight. Temperatures this hour, 49 in Medford. It's 43 degrees for you folks in Montague, 41 in Klamath Falls, a chilly 37 right now in Mount Shasta, and it's 50 degrees in Gold Beach. Tonight, we will see some lingering rain and snow showers out there. Snow levels will be dropping, getting down to about 1,500 feet as we head into tomorrow, and then more showers possible throughout the day. Best odds will be towards the coast and up into the Cascades. Could see a few showers, though, in the Rogue Valley as well. Temperatures remaining well below normal for this time of the year, but if you are hoping for some more spring-like weather, I do have that in the extended forecast. I'll have the details coming up in just a bit.
Matt, thank you. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office is reminding residents of the dangers of flooding after a Central Point woman drowned in a flooded creek. The Sheriff's Office says the woman was attempting to clear a culvert under her driveway when her waders filled up with water, pulling her through the culvert and into Cane Creek. She was later located and transported to a hospital, but was pronounced dead. Her identity is not being released, but the incident serves as a reminder to stay alert, avoid flooded areas, and move to higher ground if you can. The days of wet weather are wreaking havoc on roads throughout southern Oregon as well. This drone footage shows us a landslide on Highway 138 from Sunday. We're continuing to see flooding affect roadways, leaving cars stranded in some areas. Employees at both the Josephine County Department of Public Works and the Oregon Department of Transportation are telling us this is the most water they've seen in more than a decade.
People who have worked at ODOT for a long time are telling me that this is the most water they've seen on the ground ever in their careers.
Denny says to stay home if you can, and if you need to travel, don't drive through any flooded areas. You should also check your latest forecast on kdrv.com or on the Storm Tracker 12 weather app. On our website, you can also find a link to ODOT's trip check for up-to-date road conditions, delays, and closures.
And as you make your way home tonight, make sure to plan your route as some roads are still impacted in Josephine County. Currently, Highway 230 and Highway 138 have closures due to snow and landslides. Several water rescues took place yesterday in Josephine County because of this flooding. You can head to kdrv.com for the latest travel impacts.
And in Josephine County, widespread flooding means it's all hands on deck for the Public Works Department. This video is taken around Grants Pass this morning for Vinoy Elementary School had classes canceled today. The Director of Public Works tells us every employee is out working on county streets and culverts. While some culverts may be blocked by debris, others are flooding simply due to the impressive amount of water.
Get to a point where it doesn't matter if a culvert's completely free flowing and unblocked, they just are not built to handle that volume of water. And we're now kind of in triage mode to see, all right, how bad is it? Also waiting for water to come back down.
Brandis says Public Works is focused on Leonard Road, which carries a couple of thousand cars per day and is facing a closure because of this storm. He tells me that post-storm cleanup could take weeks or even months throughout Josephine County. Another neighborhood in Grants Pass saw their street flooded, causing damage to some of their cars.
Yeah, residents are telling NewsWatch 12's Damian Alvarado they are concerned about future rain events.
Anna is a resident here on Large Street. She was just finishing up her day when she received an alarming call from her fiance's grandmother, who told her that the street was flooded, and now she's dealing with the issue of her vehicle no longer working. Rushing to the scene, Anna and her fiance had to drive through a foot of water to reach their neighborhood.
That guy's car is broken. That's the one we're...
It's the worst I've seen it in about 10 years. Some were more fortunate than us. You know, they were there, we were not. So our car got a bit more damaged, was submerged for a longer time.
Anna and her fiance managed to move the car, but it was clear the damage was done.
Luckily, I do have full coverage. I cannot say the same about everybody else.
Anna noticed how quickly the water had risen, flooding past sidewalks and onto lawns.
It was pushing up onto all of our lawns. We have had some historic flooding in the past, so it's definitely something to pay attention to because it's always a possibility of more floods that could be more severe than this.
I reached out to Grants Pass's street division to see if aging infrastructure played a role in this flooding. We have yet to hear back. Reporting in Grants Pass, I'm Damian Alvarado.
Jackson County Emergency Management is reminding residents that flooding can contaminate private wells and make your water unsafe to drink. For warning signs to look out for and details on how to disinfect your well water after flooding, head to our website, kdrv.com. And as you clean up your yard from this storm and for the spring season, you can have 2 opportunities to chip your wood debris. These 2 days at the end of the month are a great opportunity to not only clear your yard from the winter season, but also prepare for fire season. If you want to take advantage of this opportunity, you can head to our website for the details.
High winds and power outages forced Mount Ashland to close early yesterday, and now the ski area says the mountain will be closed until Thursday. Right now, we're about to take a live look out at Mount Ashland. The ski area says they lost power yesterday afternoon, which prevents them from operating their lifts. No lack of powder, though, at the ski area. All ski area facilities and access is currently closed, though. We'll continue to track these weather impacts and bring you the latest updates.
And we're taking a look at the recently passed Senate Bill 310. It gives California Native American tribes the legal right to do cultural burns without needing state permits. These burns are part of their traditional way of managing land. It helps reduce the risk of catastrophic wildfires. Before this, California's laws banned these practices, which disrupted their way of life.
Tribes and state partners can now combine modern science with traditional knowledge. It provides the Carrick tribe with the ability to conduct cultural burns to enhance food sources, medicinal plants, and fiber resources. The agreement also brings access to funding for prescribed fires and cultural burns. Today is St. Patrick's Day, and local police departments are reminding you to have fun but be safe this holiday.
Yeah, the Phoenix Police Department says to make sure to plan ahead, whether that's a designated driver or taking an Uber or Lyft. Know how you're getting home before you take off to celebrate. And police are also asking you to make sure to watch your friends, and if someone is planning to planning to drive drunk, take their keys and help them get home safely.
Still to come, scoliosis can develop at a young age, but experts say many don't know what to look out for. What you should know to get ahead of the curve, that's coming up in tonight's Health Watch.
But first, we're continuing our coverage of President Donald Trump's second term with a look at 3 new developments you might have missed. That's coming after your break.
And we are timing out the return of more widespread rain and higher elevation snow. Winter storm watch has been posted for parts of the region. We'll talk about where, and I'll have details on what you can expect into the weekend. It does look like we're going to finally see some drier and warmer weather by the end of your 7-day forecast. It's all coming up. First, though, let's take a live look right now from Grants Pass and the Tap Rock Northwest Grill. You're watching NewsWatch 12 at 6.